Rugby is the consensus #1 ranked team in America. No blue goggles necessary for that.
That's right.
And the head coach, David Smyth, joining us on BYU Sports Nation. Coach, welcome back to Studio B.
Thanks, guys. Good to be with you. Good to be back.
Wasatch Cup victory. You dominate the Utes. Anytime I can say those words on this airwave, that's a good thing for BYU Sports Nation. How'd you feel about the Wasatch Cup?
Really good, actually. It was a good afternoon. The boys did very, very well. You know, as you say, it's always nice to beat the Utes, but it's even better when you beat them up there. So it was a good afternoon.
Being #1, winning the last 3 national championships, how do you know if you're at the level you need to be? Because sometimes you can't check it against the competition, right? You have to check it against yourself, maybe?
Yeah, I think we use ourselves as a barometer there, you know, just get a feeling for where the boys are at and go back to the previous years and have a look at how we're doing team-wise compared to what we were doing this time last year. And I'm feeling pretty good. You know, the boys are fairly dialed in at the moment and doing well. So, you know, you can never get too far ahead of yourselves. You got to keep your feet on the ground. But right now, I think if we stay focused, we'll be good.
How do you keep a #1 ranked team level-headed when they're making Trickshot videos and Uptown Funk music videos?
Yeah, that gets a little challenging at times. The Trick video was all right. The Uptown Funk, I'm not too sure about that one. Yeah, but yeah, you know, it's we'll just chalk all those things up to experience.
What are they going to have to do to get you in one of those music videos?
An awful lot. There's not enough money in the world, fellas, for me to be on one of those.
What's the song you would want, though?
Yeah, that's a good question. I haven't even thought about it. But I'd come up with something good, but we probably don't need to worry about that.
Okay.
Just win, right?
Just win. You played 2 games this week. How do you manage making sure, you know, the ones stay fresh for the Varsity Cup?
Yeah, good
tournament?
question. You know, we have a good rotational squad this year. We're fairly deep. So, you know, we're going to rotate the boys through. The guys that we're looking at now to, you know, develop come playoffs, and then we're managing a few injuries. So, you know, we've looked at that the last few days, and we've come up with a reasonably good team, I think, for tonight. And then we'll continue through to Saturday managing that with the personnel. So we should be fine.
David Smyth, BYU rugby coach, with us on BYU Sports Nation, taking on Utah Valley and Utah State this week. We had Paul Asike in here just a few weeks ago, and we brought up the question with him, like, what's your deal with BYU rugby? And he's like, I don't know. Like, I want to play. Like, it's within him to want to go play. But he's trying to get ready for the NFL draft. What's his status moving forward?
Yeah, I think, you know, the priority for Paul right now is opportunities maybe with the NFL. So we've laid off, and you know, we're supporting him in that goal. Hopefully he'll get a good crack at that and see where it goes.
The next couple of weeks should be fun. Looks like you have a first-round bye in the Varsity Cup, and then quarters against Air Force or UCLA.
Correct.
On the road, and then semifinal could match up with Utah again, maybe?
It's possible. You know, they've got to beat Oklahoma, and then they'd have to beat the winner of Arizona State or Central Washington. But it's quite possible we could see them again, yeah, right here on South Field.
That's nice. And then the national championship match is at Rio Tinto in Sandy again.
Correct, yeah.
But we've been talking about who's the biggest, what's the biggest rivalry game outside of BYU football, since that's not going to happen again next year. What's your opinion on that? Because we brought up BYU rugby versus Cal. That's always for the national championship.
Yeah, I mean, we have a huge rivalry with Cal, but we also have a big rivalry with Utah. You know, that's that first and foremost every year we focus on that game, the Wasatch Cup, because it's right here in our own backyard. It's before we go into any playoff scenario. So, you know, first and foremost for us, our biggest rivalry is Utah. And then if we get through that, you know, we get jarred up for Cal as well.
Is it a rivalry if the other team doesn't win? I can't even remember a time Utah beat BYU in rugby.
10 years in a row?
It's about 10 years since they won the Wasatch Cup, but yeah, it's still a rivalry because it's Utah. I mean, we never take any game against Utah lightly. I mean, we always give them the utmost respect, and we prepare as hard as we can for them because, you know, we're not fond on losing to Utah.
You can feel it, too. I heard that you guys ate dinner together or something after?
This year we didn't, but we have done in the last year we did.
How in the world do you do that after the game, especially in rugby?
It's rugby tradition, you know.
Is
you
it?
go out, yeah, you go out, and during the game you kill each other or you play to the best of your ability, and then afterwards it's shake the hands and spend some time developing a brotherhood and a friendship. So yeah, it's an important part of the game.
It would be going to the pub outside of BYU Utah, right?
It's a good possibility that you could end up there, yeah.
Yeah, that's not the BYU
But here we
Utah
don't
thing.
need to worry about that. Yeah, no,
That's
it's
right.
not an issue here.
Now, as a coach
It's
at BYU,
Applebee's.
there are a ton of other sports and other coaches that really admire what you have done with this BYU rugby team. When you step outside of rugby and you look at the other BYU sports, which sport do you like to watch the most aside from the one that you coach?
I'm a football fan myself. I enjoy watching football. Always have since I've been a student. Here many years ago. I was a fan then. I don't understand a lot of the coaching aspects of it, a little bit, but I enjoy watching football, and I like volleyball too, and I'm also a huge soccer fan. Big Manchester United fan.
Okay.
Grew up supporting Man United over in Northern Ireland, so I like soccer as well.
Do you have a scarf?
Few.
Oh, you've got a few scarves.
Naturally.
scarves.
Okay, well, with rivalries in the mind, you look at Man City and Man U. Can you explain to the Americans, to the people across the nation, the dynamic of that rivalry?
Well, you think you see rivalries here with college sports, us in Utah, so on and so forth. Before you die, you should go and actually witness a Premiership game in England, like a Man United and Man City, and then you will understand the true meaning of a rivalry.
I'm a little scared.
That is a matter of life and death.
Green
to those
Street
people.
hooligans. That's what I'm talking about.
Few of them around for sure.
Yeah, what color? If you want to wear neutral colors to that game, what would you wear? Just
There's no such thing as a neutral color between Man United and Man City.
well, in the presence of you, we'll wear our Man U colors if we ever get over
good
there.
BYU
choice.
shirt.
Good choice.
Coach, congratulations on more success this year.
Thank you very much.
Great to have you again in Studio B.
Appreciate it.
The match.